Okay, let's talk a little bit about vectorizing an image in VCarve. So I already have a file here that we've started, and we went and found a couple of images that we like. So here's one that we'll use, black and white. So we'll right click, save image as, and we'll download that one. So now if we go into VCarve, we have the ability to import a bitmap. So if we hover over this button, it's on the far right, the top row says import bitmap. We'll do that. We'll go and find the one that we want and open it. And you can see it brings it in like this. So let's say we wanted to vectorize this upper right hand elk here. It's going to vectorize everything here because we don't have the ability to split the image. But that's okay. We can get rid of stuff that we don't want afterwards. So here under Create Vectors, the lower left-hand corner kind of looks like a bird to me. If we hover over it, it says Trace Bitmap. So we'll go ahead and we'll click on that. You'll see here we have type of tracing, color or black and white. We have black and white selected since we have a black and white picture. And then we have a couple of options here that we can play around with. How tight we want it to fit to the corner, how many pixels we want it to pick up. You can change how much that's shaded so you can see what comes out behind it. And then by default, it also has group vectors. I'm going to uncheck that one for now since I have multiple things here and I want to get rid of some. And once I have that in there, I can hit preview and we can see it adds some lines here. Okay. Now we can play around with these a little bit. We'll change the number of pixels we want it to pick up. Preview, we can see that doesn't change a whole lot. We can change this one. Preview. Again, doesn't seem to be changing a whole lot, but you can play around with those if you want. When we're happy with what we have, we can click Apply and close. And now we have vectors and we still have our original image file. I like to delete the image once I have the vectors just so that I can see what I'm working with. And if we wanted now, we could go ahead and we could delete the stuff that we don't want. And if I really want to, I could group these. So that's going to be this button under Edit Objects, the one that looks like a chain. I'm going to group those. And now I have something that I can work with just like I've done before. So I can put it in the center. We can take, whoops. We'll take that and we can scale it if we want. And then a file like this, I would probably do a VCarve toolpath. We'll see what that'll look like. We'll go ahead and stick with the 90, hit calculate, preview all toolpaths, and that's what it would look like. Okay, kind of cool. So let's go ahead and delete that for now, and we'll delete this one. Okay, so VCarve also works if we have color files. So we'll go here. Here's one that we've pulled up where we have multiple colors. So we'll right click, save image as, download that one. Go back to VCarve. Again, import bitmap is in the upper left corner, the far right one. And we'll bring that in. So now when we go to trace bitmap, lower left here under create vectors. Okay, if we just do black and white, that's all it's going to pick up on because the other colors on there are too light. But now since we have colors, we have the option here that we could click color and you can see that picks up more. And if there's certain things that we want, so maybe we only want the hat and the coveralls picked up, I'll pick the colors that are most close to that one, preview, and you can see it picks up the hat, picks up the coveralls, and then it looks like there's some little sections here that it picks up too. But that one we could probably change our noise filter. Yeah, and see now it doesn't pick those up. So if there was just certain parts that I wanted to do, we could do that. Or we could have it pick up all of these. Now, if you have it pick up all of them and there's different shades, sometimes See right there, when I click that one, it's just going to highlight the outside of it. That's probably not very useful for us. I get rid of that one. Now it's going to do everything except for his hands and this part of his nose and his chin. So we have some options here on colors that we can play around with. Okay, so if we're doing something that's color, we know that Rhino doesn't work very well, but VCarve actually does work pretty well when we change color, and then we have the opportunity to pick the ones that we want. Now, if it's something like a photo where we have lots and lots of different shades, that does still get a little bit difficult. It's doable, but it does get a little bit difficult. And now on one like this, I would probably do group vectors so that everything stays the same. And if I'm happy with that, click Apply, Close, and then again, like I've done before, I like to get rid of the picture behind and we can see what we've got. And we can see, that I'm not real happy with. I've got a weird thing here and I've got this crossed up thing here. So that might give us some fits that we need to work with. So we could do Control Z to undo. We could go back in and again pick the colors that we want. So in VCarve we have the opportunity to trace vectors, to vectorize something. We would import bitmap, and then we would go down here, trace bitmap, and on that we can do color, we can do black and white, and we can select some different things. So that's vectorizing in VCarve in a nutshell.